I was really pleased with the way our guys competed in the game tonight. I challenged them in terms of how they were going to respond. Respond with your ability, your positive energy, attitude, how you block, how you tackle, the enthusiasm that you play with. And I was, pleased with the way the guys went out and competed, had fun, wasn't a lot of anxiety. Wasn't always perfect execution, but to me that's a start. It's kind of time to answer the bell, and now the challenge is we need to build on that. We got a bye week coming up. We got a lot of guys that we need to try to get healthy, and I think we'll get some guys back. And but I think the number one thing is we want to build on sort of the chemistry of how we competed in the game today, and the defense played really well, and the last drive, but we should be able to take the air out of the ball on offense, and couldn't run the ball very well tonight. That's something we definitely need to improve on. So hopefully Bryce getting a week off here now will really help him, maybe get back healthy. So, guys had a good week of preparation, and they went out and played a good game, and really pleased and proud of them.
Start with Jason.
In the first half, Mississippi State was pretty committed to running the ball against the dime. I think they had 20 rushes in the first half. How did you think that the dime defended the run?
They got 6 points. So, we just did some things different after we got started and saw that they were running the ball, so we stopped the run pretty well after that. So, I'm pleased with the way we played on defense. And the team gets 6 points, and we're going to complain about the way they stopped the run. We were trying to stop the pass. So I thought we did that pretty well until the last drive. We had 2 4th downs. We could have got off the field and didn't get off the field. So, and then we got a penalty in the end zone, another penalty in the end zone. So, they gave up 6 points. I think that's pretty good. I'd let a team run the ball all day long if they only get 6 points. You'd be all right with that?
I thought they played well against the run. I wasn't saying they didn't.
Well, got to find something.
Charlie?
Speaking of defending the pass, just how do you think Elon Riggs has made progress, and what did you think of the way he played tonight?
I thought he did a good job. He gave up 1 throw. Kool-Aid, when you're playing 5 under man, you're supposed to be underneath the guy, so the guy should be able to catch a comeback on you. And caught one on him, caught one on Kool-Aid on 4th and 10. But I thought he played well. He did a good job. He prepared well all week, and I thought he played pretty well in the game.
Come over here, Michael.
It seemed like high intensity of that final possession. You guys are up 30-0. It seemed like it was, it could have been a tie game. What was the intensity like on the sideline and in the game when you guys were trying to stop that shutout?
Well, I think the guys got a lot of pride in what they do. We wanted to, the whole emphasis is get back to playing for 60 minutes. Don't look at the scoreboard. Quit worrying about outcomes and play one play at a time, and keep playing in the game. So, and I thought they tried to do that. I just thought we had some opportunities to make plays in that drive, and we didn't, and they took advantage of it.
Good, Joe.
Nick, there's obviously a question this week. What went into the decision to play Burton?
Look, I don't know how many of you have ever been in a situation like that, but I talked to him. He was scared. I was scared. Some of our other players were scared. I think you learn to respect other people because we have a responsibility to do that regardless of the circumstance that we're in. And, I talked to the guy. We have him in a counseling program. It's not an anger management program, as people announced today. Nobody ever said that. That's not the problem. That's not the issue. But it's about having the proper respect for other people. And, I didn't think it was necessary to suspend the guy. So if you knew the whole story, maybe you wouldn't either. But I'm not going to divulge that.
Back up front with Nick.
You guys significantly reduced penalties today. What was the biggest source of that, or what do you put into that?
Well, it's been something that we've been emphasizing, all year long. And, finally today, we had a little better discipline. But I also think we had a little better disposition about energy and enthusiasm and not playing with anxiety. And sometimes when you play with anxiety, you make a lot of bad decisions because you get a little too emotional about what you're doing and you decide to hit a guy back, or you decide to hang on and hold or whatever it is. And I don't think that's the way you want to compete in a game. You want to have high achievement motivation and low anxiety and make good choices of decisions. And I thought the players did a better job of that today.
Go on the far side with Tony.
They had multiple roughing the passer penalties on Bryce Young, and it seems like he's taken a lot of big hits the last 2 days. Is that something you're seeing from opposing defenses? Do you think that they're trying to get some extra hits on Bryce, given his injury?
You'd have to ask the other team that. I can't comment on that. We got to do a good job of protecting him so he doesn't get hit. That's what we can control.
Back left here.
Hey, good. Just wanted to ask you about Brian Branch and what he's given you defensively this year, especially centered on some of those pressures. Just your thoughts of his performance tonight.
You know, Brian's played well for us all year. I thought he had a really good game, tonight. He's the 6th DB. He plays the 5th DB a lot. Malachi plays it when we go to dime, and he's in a position that he's actually almost playing like an outside linebacker, and he does a really good job of that. Because he's a physical guy and he's very instinctive, and that's how we got stopping the run a little better by starting having some edge pressure with him, and that took him out of that. And we did a pretty good job. He did a good job the whole game.
Middle with Nick.
What does it say about this offense that even on a night where you guys are averaging a little less than 2 yards a game, for the first half, it still seemed pretty seamless in terms of moving the ball?
Well, we didn't play very well, with any consistency on offense, and that starts with what I said before. Couldn't run the ball, very well. It affects play action passes. I thought we had some RPO throws that we should have taken that we didn't take, and we missed a couple. And, I think, Bryce played really well in the game, but I think get him back 100% will really help. And I think if he can practice, at some point in time before we get ready for our next game, that'd probably help him as well.
Go to Katie right here.
With having some older guys or more experienced players out on the defensive line tonight, what did tonight kind of teach younger guys about being ready, like Payne and Jameer and Latham, and just how do you think they played tonight?
Well, I think that's what we tell all the young guys, and it's kind of a hard concept for them to understand sometimes, that, don't worry about what your circumstance is right now, but make sure you're doing the work and putting in the time to prepare yourself, so if you get an opportunity, you'll be ready to take advantage of it. So, and I thought, Payne did a pretty good job of that. We really only had 4 defensive linemen in the game, so we played, the most we ever played with was 2, sometimes only 1, and played a whole bunch of backers. So, you get a little small, which can affect your ability to stop the run. But you got to scheme it the best you can with the guys that you got, and hopefully we'll get some of these guys back. But it's also a good experience for those guys, and they'll be more ready to play the next time.
2 more quick ones. Start in the middle here. You're good. Okay. Right there, and then Charlie.
Coach, you had 11 different pass catchers catch the football tonight. How do you feel like your receivers, running backs, and tight ends helped out Bryce Young getting open down the field?
Well, I thought Mississippi State did a good job of mixing up their pressures, dropping 8 guys, and I thought the receivers did a really good job in a couple scramble situations, which turned out to be a couple big plays. Probably, the only explosive plays we really had, came off of those types of plays. But I think our receivers are making progress. I think they're playing better, and I think it's important that they continue to improve. And because when you have a guy like Bryce, you want to be able to take advantage of his talent, and receivers doing a good job can certainly contribute that to a large degree.
Finish up with a follow-up from Charlie.
Kind of piggybacking off of what Katie asked, no Jaheim and no DJ on the D-line. Do you have updates on those guys?
They're day to day, but hopefully we'll get one back for sure, maybe both, but it's probably too early to tell.
All right, Coach. Thanks.
All right, thank you.